I grew up feeling wrong for everything I ever chose, everything I ever thought, because I didn't fit in the box ever. And I wanted all those of us that are the square pegs in the round holes to know, don't try to fit in. Let's do something different. So many thousands of people, literally thousands of comments and emails and thank yous of people saying, after reading Being You Changing the World, I feel like I'm not wrong. I'm not alone anymore. My weirdness and all the stuff I've been judging has actually become the strongness of me. I realize it's not a wrongness. I actually like myself. I'm starting to create my life. I'm like all these things, everything, everything I wanted to create when I wrote the book in the first place. When we're being us, that's when everything works in the strangest and most miraculous of ways. After having so many people say so many wonderful things about what it was when they were starting to be them, I'm like, okay, how do we do? Let's create a day. And I had this awareness back when we started the very first one 6 years ago, that it may take a while, but we've got this possibility for inviting people to this awareness that didn't exist before. Because most people are trying to be something that's decidedly not them, that puts them in a huge state of judgment all the time. And we have this ability to not only get people out of judgment, but to acknowledge the gift of their presence and their difference and their brilliance, kind of like Earth Day. Like Earth Day started in 1970. It took about 30 years for anybody to notice we actually had a planet we were living on. Everybody's like, oh, we got to do this with plastics and we got to do this with recycling and all this sort of stuff. But that's the way awareness works. It's like sometimes the most important awarenesses are going along seemingly beneath the surface until they just go. So that's what I was looking for. I was like, even if it takes 30 years, 50 years, I don't care. If we eventually have a world in which people value being them, I'm a success. And this movement is a success. And I got to say, it's not about me. It's about we. Because when we're being us, that's when we embrace every contribution, everything and everyone is. And we don't feel separate anymore. We don't feel wrong. We don't judge ourselves. We don't judge others. We start to have a sense of belonging in this world and not needing to control it, but actually being able to receive from it and see the gift that everyone and everything is. This is not what most people think that is actually going on. When people are really asked about what's true about being them, or what is actually true for them as it relates to this, it's totally different than most people think it would be. And I really wanted to let people know about that and go into that a little bit, because it's like we keep thinking it's one thing, but it apparently is not, according to everybody who responded. That's how I live my life, personally. And I know that sounds, some people might take offense at that. Like, how do you get to do that? Well, because a long time ago, I was like, whatever it takes, I'm going to be me. That was a demand that I made. And it's how the whole Being You Changing the World book came about, and different things, classes, different things about that. For me, it's like, I would do the thing that I'm not allowing myself to do now because I'm judging that I wouldn't be doing enough if I did this. When you take the time for you, so let's turn this into something people can utilize in their lives, okay? So I'm going to make a suggestion. You can feel free to modify this as you need to, but I'm going to make a suggestion. Take an hour a day for you and do whatever the heck you want, okay? And I'm going to say take at least a half a day every week for you, where you get to do whatever the heck you want. Now, some of you are going to be like, I can't, I've got this and this and this and this. And it's probably the this and this and this and this that are creating a lot of where you feel like you don't have your own life and don't have your own space and don't have your own energy and don't have dominion over your life. This, if you choose to do it, this can start to change it, okay? How do I know? Well, I have suggested this for decades now, and about, 15 years ago, my sister, who'd been listening to me for 10 years, finally heard me. And she is a mother of 4. She had a hair salon. I guess she's a mother of 5 because you know how the husband is like the 5th child. Anyway, I digress. Mother of 5 and with a hair salon. So she was busy as you could imagine, right? And I had been saying for years, I'm like, just take an hour a day for you. And she was like, well, I can't quite manage an hour, but I'm going to do a half an hour. So I said, just do something that you know is just for you to nurture you. Because when you do, you refill your batteries. And then when other people want stuff and need stuff, it doesn't feel like it's draining your last bit of energy. It feels like, oh, cool, I got energy. I've been refilling my batteries on my own, no problem, you know? And so she would sit out in the backyard and she would watch my YouTube videos, which, by the way, there are thousands of them there, okay? Please go watch them. They're my gift to you. If it changes your life, please let me know, because that's the whole reason I did it. That's why we're doing Being You Day, because you realize that us contributing to each other is one of the greatest gifts that exists in the world, and somebody receiving it is a gift back to you, because there's a simultaneity of gifting and receiving. Side note, sorry. So she finally was like, okay, I'm going to do this. So she woke up a half an hour early and she would go out and watch my YouTube videos. And on one of those videos, I shared a very simple question, which was, what else is possible? Just that. Very simple. So here's a great question for you. What else is possible? And so she sat there in her backyard that had dead grass because they couldn't afford the water bill to water the grass. And so all the grass had died, no flowers, no nothing, just dead. And she went, what else is possible? The next day, her neighbor comes over and says, hey, I don't know if you need it, but we've been resodding our yard and we have too much. We have enough for you if you would like some. The neighbor sodded her entire backyard. And the neighbor was then like, hey, by the way, we have a bunch of flowers also, and I'd be happy to give those to you also. And this is from her making the choice to actually nurture herself, to actually take some time and space for her, to do the thing that in the past would have been judged because somehow she needed to put all of her energy into trying to create the life for her family and her business and her husband and her relationship and all the people. And this thing, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because we think so often that this can be selfish on our part, taking any time, any space, anything for us. But it's actually the essential element oftentimes. Doing that thing that we would, if we were truly being us, we would do this. And this is what 1,500 people have said, okay? When you get over 1,000 people, you're probably getting somewhere in the realm of some sort of accuracy, you know? I'm not a statistician, but I'm gonna say 1,000 weirdos like us answering at least, you know, so we're at 1,500, so there's some accuracy in that, right? Where the thing that people wish they could do and would do if they didn't have the structure of judgment they've been living is the thing that would be fun and nurturing to them. Well, we can make a choice to do that. Just take a half an hour a day, okay? Whatever it is that nurtures you. Might be listening to your favorite music, might be just sipping your coffee as slowly as you want to, knowing that nobody is gonna take it away. Whatever it is for you, a half an hour a day. And if you can manage a half a day a week or 4 hours or 3 hours a week for you, do that too. Because the idea is when you're nurtured, you nurture. When you're full, you fulfill and contribute to the fulfillment of others. And that's us being us. And there's almost no greater gift in the world than us contributing and having that contribution received. But it works with us too, us contributing to us and having us receive the contribution and having it received is an amazing gift. And it changes our entire world. When we're being us, that's when everything works in the strangest and most miraculous of ways.